Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Nick. Welcome to First Try, a first impressions video series in which I take a look at seldomly covered video games. Today's video game is Tales of Adventure 2. First up, there are a lot of spelling mistakes in this game. The first one we have right here, it spells Tales of Adventure. Yeah, kind of forgivable, because that's just the obvious stuff, and mistakes happen sometimes. Well, who developed it? Well, it was a guy called Butterdbeagle UK, and it's published by a company called XIAOYAO, which I didn't hear a thing about and didn't find anything on the internet, so, well, it's a typical indie game, I would say. The game got greenlit some months ago, and so it was bound to happen that this will release on Steam one day, and today is that very day. What is it? Well, it's a 2D twin-stick shooter in which you float around as a cat lion thingy head with a halo around it, so kind of sacred and stuff. You will know what I'm talking about when we go into the game. So, let's take a look at the options menu. Yeah, there is no options menu. For a PC game, that's not really good, as well as the fact that the game runs at a default resolution of 1280 by 768. So, for those who are wondering where's 1080p, well, it's not there. So, without further ado, I would say we take a look at this game and start the game. Hurry screen, and there we have the story. As I've said, a lot of spelling mistakes, and the line break is also kind of, yeah, the wet her and something like that. Okay, so that is basically a tutorial. So here are the spells on the bottom line. You want to click it, and then you can release it with the right click. Here we have our death count, that's all its HP and mana. Here are our different projectiles we can shoot. And here is our crystal count, with which we can buy upgrades. So click here and you can buy your upgrades. Let's go for damage and HP plus. I have 100 more. Good. This button saves your game. If you want to continue, you will start from the position you have saved. So, I'd say it's a cat lion. But who I am to judge here? So, you move around using W, A, S and D, and with your left mouse you are shooting. And where you're shooting is controlled by the position of your cursor. And as you can see already, the hitbox is sometimes really off. The enemies are glowing but taking no damage. That is just one of the few problems this game has. As you can see, the projectiles are wandering through the enemy without doing damage. That is kind of annoying and, yeah, not good, to say the least. This game also features some power-ups, which spawn randomly, as well as health globes. And yeah, if you don't get anything, then the game basically says it likes you. So the power-ups spawn random, and yeah, you can have bad luck and you can have good luck. It's a little bit roguelike then, but I wouldn't consider it that because there is no shop system within the first 2.5 stages I've played before I'm making this video. Also, if you hover over enemies, you see their names or tooltips, which are considered in the story. Yes. And again, not really good design. Because in a twin-stick shooter you seldomly hover over an enemy if you want to. Or, yeah, anyway. The sound design in this game is also sometimes really off, because the light spheres sound is the perfect example here. And I will show it you later when they are shooting a lot. So, yeah. If the game would be as nice as to give me a power-up, then I could demonstrate you power-ups as well, but I will demonstrate you dying at first. So, what does the game do when you're dying? Yes, it sets you onto the start of the zone with a third of your HP and the mana you had when you died. Speaking of mana, I didn't use any mana so far, so let's take a look at the spell system. Well, how do you cast a spell? As it said, click and then release it. Again, relatively unintuitive if you ask me, because when I click, it's lit up very shortly, but not for a long time, and this is highly unintuitive in my opinion. It should be lit up what you have chosen, so that you know what spell you're currently using. That's basically my concern right here when I died again. Well, in the last few playthroughs before making this video, I had power-ups at the start and just plowed through this stage. Well, not today as it seems. But the good thing is you collect crystals and they persist to death, as far as I can tell, and you can buy upgrades for yourself then again. Yeah, good. What is also relatively interesting is some power-ups tend to make you auto-aim, which is very rare for a twin-stick shooter. And why the fuck I keep on dying? Hell. Come on. It's not that hard. At least the first boss. But I think talking and playing at the same time is kind of difficult, as it seems. And as you can see, you can outsmart the enemies if you put them right on the edge of the screen, because then they don't notice you, and that's again a little bit of bad AI programming, to say the least. So, I'm sorry, I didn't want to say that. Well. As you can see, a life globe must have spawned on me, and otherwise I would be dead again. Well. I would say if I die once more, then I will start a already started game, in which I'm at a later position in the game. So here we have our first power-up of this round. It makes me glow. Wonderful. isn't it? Also, as you can see, look at this, the hitbox of the trees is a little bit too big in my opinion. It's not intuitive at all, and it's again destroying a little bit the experience. Well, as we went on, we should then shortly come to the second part of the stage, and then to the boss as well. The boss fights I've fought so far are relatively simple and not that difficult at all, and that's basically, yeah, it's funny to say that when I've died already 5 times in this video, but I found the game relatively easy and boring. And yeah, so maybe I should let you listen a little bit to the music. What is also relatively funny, as I said, the music. When you change the stage, wow, then the audio in the background song is restarting again. Again, not really good audio design here as well. Basically everything where you can say design the game lacks a lot, in my opinion. And that's not really good in my opinion. So here we had it again. The music is not that bad. That is something I have to point out here. But a lot in this game is really weak, and yeah, I think when talking about the strength of game, for some people it might be visually appealing, but is that really what you are aiming for as an indie studio? For some people it might be appealing. I don't really know, and I don't really think so, that this should be where you are heading. And speaking of appealing and for some people, etc., hardcore fans of this genre might like it. It's not really my thing, to say the least. And I also think it's hard to notice at my voice and say, yeah, it's really a shame because it would look good, in my honest opinion, but there's simply too much factors in this game that cry out loud, nope, don't buy this, especially for the price they are asking for. And when you think about it, the price they are asking for is 14 euros or a regional equivalent. It's really hard to justify a price like that for a product like that. You could play this on an Android or iOS system easily, in my opinion. Just with virtual controls, and it would work, really. So let's buy some final power-ups before we go to the boss fight. So here we have our first boss. And I'd say I'd shut up for a moment and let you enjoy the music of this fight, because it's not that bad, as I've said before. Well, shit. Yeah. Let's try it again. The thing about this boss is, when you die in a boss fight, as it seems to me, the boss respawns with the same amount of HP he had before you died. So it becomes progressively easier. I don't know if that was a mistake the last time I've killed him, or if it's just random. As you can see, the attack pattern of this boss is also relatively random, so overall the game has a lot of randomness in it. In my opinion, too much for a twin stick shooter. It's too much randomness as well. And one little thing I personally have to complain about as the boss goes down. This should not block me. Come on. This thing here. Do you see that? This should not block me at all. And if you're waiting for a big victory music, well, it is not there. You've killed the boss and that's it. So, we're here at stage 2 now. And yeah, you have to find it out for yourself. Is it worth 14 euros for you? Or do you wait for a sale? Or will you... or won't you ever buy it? That's another opinion as well. In my opinion, it's impossible to justify it at this price point, and I would wait for a sale where it goes about 75% off. I would buy it for 5 euros or something like that, but not for 14. 14 is way too high in my opinion, and I cannot recommend it at this price, really. I cannot. Maybe 1 or 2 hardcore fans of this genre will buy this game at this price, but in my opinion you don't pass out on anything. Oh, and I died again. Well, that's Tales of Adventure 2, ladies and gentlemen. Currently available on Steam for 14 euros or the original equivalent. My name has been Nick, ladies and gentlemen, and in my opinion this game wiped and didn't get it first try. And I shall see you next time.